We have waited for so long to speak with you guys. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have Dan Nield and we have Chuck. I just met you.
Chuck Wright.
What is your last name?
Mr. Wright.
Mr. Wright.
It's my favorite.
It's so better than Mr. Wrong. Did your wife tell her parents when she met you that she met Mr. Wright? No, I don't know. I have a sneaking suspicion that maybe she did. But you gentlemen are here with us this morning to talk a little bit, not only about yourselves, because we'd like to get to know you a little bit, but also this amazing group that St. Alphonsus has the opportunity to host, which is That Man Is You. And it is starting in September. We're going to get into all the details of that. But this has been something that has been cultivated over time, kind of by you, Chuck. And then kind of bringing up the rear has been Dan's excitement for and zest for Jesus and for just gathering and community in the Catholic Church. So I feel like you guys are the perfect duo. Dan Nield was one of our speakers who gave us his testimony the third night of the revival. And so let's start a little bit about Dan Nield. Where do you hail? You're slightly new to the area. You have a wonderful family. You sit in the front row. You're a reader. You have all kinds of gifts that you're already giving to St. Alphonsus in a short time.
A singer.
We're not going to talk about that, but he is a singer. We're not going to talk about it, but he does sing well.
So you're part of the Scola group. Oh, we were just talking about that.
So yeah.
Okay, good.
Yes, you were right. I moved here August 10th of last year, so I'm not quite a year here. I came from Indy. My wife and I have been married since 2019. I went to Purdue. I moved to Indy in 2014 when I graduated. And shortly after I moved, maybe a year or two, it took me about a year or two to get my feet under me. I started being active in the young adult Catholic community down there. And just, it's weird, like every year, every 2 years, like some new fire got lit under me. It just made me take my faith to the next level. I'm a cradle Catholic, and I don't know how long ago it was, but you know, the parable of the talents. I just had this thinking of like all these great things that God has given me. Imagine if like I just squandered it. Now I've got plenty of things I'm bad at, but I know a few things I'm good at. I'm going to do what I can to help bring the glory of God by using those talents. So I just want as many people to come to Christ or grow in their faith as possible. So I started, like I said, I was a cantor down at St. Joan of Arc in Indianapolis. I was a lector there as well. I was active with my own men's Bible study, not mine, but like every week of 5 to 8 to 10 men would meet at someone's house. And then obviously I moved here. Those guys now half hour away, 25 minutes away. It's not exactly realistic for me with 2 kids to go there anymore consistently. So when I came here, like literally like 2 months into moving here, a man by the name of Ryan Bowen texted me and said, "Hey, this guy named Chuck wanted to start this." And at that time, I'd already kind of looked to see, hey, is there other men's groups? I didn't see anything. There might be one hidden that I don't know about. But
I mean, there's a Knights of Columbus, but you're looking for something that's faith.
Yeah, that's more. And technically, I'm still a knight at St. Joan of Arc, so I am a big fan of knights. They don't focus on the spiritual growth. They focus on community and fraternity, which is beautiful as well. But I just showed up one night, and for whatever, I didn't say no. So I just kept saying yes to it. And now I'm here helping the other men put this on.
But a few minutes ago, Chuck actually gave you a little bit more props than what you're alluding to, which is that you're the voice. What does he mean by that when he says that?
I just happened to say, you know what, I'm confident enough to talk in front of people, and they needed an MC. And so I said, Chuck, I'm around people all the time. I am happy to be either the MC or the welcomer gatherer.
Nice.
You know, the kind of...
And that's a gift, right? Being confident, being a people person. Those are gifts that you can give to a church community.
Well, and it was funny because when Chuck started doing this, he's like, I'm not the face of this.
Okay.
So he always wanted someone to be the face of this, and he said, it's not me. So we found Dan.
I'm still shocked and honored that you guys think I'm the face. I just happen to be the MC because I'm...
Well, but you were here early on, so I think that kind of just got stuck to you
Yes.
too.
I was one of the first guys to
Yeah.
say yes.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know how soon it was. I think I was literally like the second guy.
Yeah, it was like October,
I
November
was like,
last.
sure, count me in, I'll be there.
Yeah.
And then, we did have to do a little bit more recruiting to get it the last.
But you said it in front of a bunch of guys who are also there wanting to participate. So you gave them the ability
There's
to say, yes, I will
that's what makes the difference. People that wanted to be there
step out.
when they listen. So if he is the voice and you don't want to be the voice, what is your role in this group?
Observer.
No.
I know, but there's a little bit about it. I mean,
Let-
go ahead.
Let's start from the beginning, though, Chuck.
Okay.
So
We're too humble, Chuck.
Chuck started, took a break from the church for a while, came back
Yes.
to our parish a few years ago.
Yes.
Can we know why you took a break? Is that private?
Yeah.
Okay.
There was a falling out.
Okay.
It was a personal.
But not at
Flat-
our parish, at a
No,
different parish.
no. It wasn't the parish. It was myself.
Okay.
In reflection.
Hmm.
Okay. It was myself. It was, we walk away from the church, and I never walked away from God, but
Mhm.
just a little background. I was raised Protestant. I became agnostic, okay, in my life. And when I found Christ again, it was through the Catholic Church.
Okay.
Okay. So
And that was Christ Renews His Parish?
Christ Renews His Parish. My
Okay.
neighbor next door literally says, I'm going to do Christ Renews His Parish. You want to go? And I went, no.
Mm-hmm.
And then Holy Spirit just works on you.
I'm telling you,
It
relentless.
works on everybody. So
Amen.
we just need to give them the credit.
So Chuck's new at our parish, having dipping his toe back into the Catholic Church.
Okay.
He and I meet. First thing he tells me is, don't ask me to volunteer.
Right. You have to make sure you get that real clear to Christina right away. Not she'll pull you in.
It's not my first rodeo because a lot of us want to participate, but we don't find that
Mm-hmm.
that groove, that slot that you need to get into. That you flourish, that you share your faith openly. So I can stock a food pantry, I can deliver furniture, but you got to find that.
You were made for more.
Yeah, well, something different for
Yeah.
sure.
So then what was kind of the catalyst that reignited that spark, you think? Because, we went along, we would meet every few months and it was still, don't ask me to volunteer. But then all of a sudden you came to me and you said, I want to start a men's ministry.
Oh, yeah. Because when I first asked you about a men's ministry, there was the Knights of Columbus, and they're a great group, wonderful group.
Couldn't do a lot without them. They show up for us a lot.
Yes, yeah. In my walk, I've had 2 or 3 good men small groups. Small groups, to me, is what the early church was about. Small groups, meeting in homes, worshiping. A small group for men is just talking that we don't normally do, talking about subjects that in society or in business, you find a way to find that vein where you can talk about it, but it's never to any depth. But my Crescio group has walked the whole path with me. It's coming up on 30 years. So
What is a Crescio?
Crescio is a 4-day men's retreat.
Oh,
they have women's
Thursday
too.
night.
What would be the idea of a church group?
Same thing.
All right. And you've had this group of people in your life for 30 years?
30 years.
Amazing.
They come and go, but
Mhm.
there's 4 of us that are
Wow.
the core.
Oh, I love that. Can I ask you, when you went through the moment where you had a falling out or you left, whatever the correct terminology is, did that core group keep you grounded?
Yes.
And there's no judgment.
There was probably judgment, but it was kind judgment. We're praying for you.
So it was a not a rebuke. What's the other word? It starts with an A. I just read it this morning. Admonish.
Well,
It was
in a loving way.
kind of like the prodigal son.
That's amazing. That's so
And
beautiful.
I think that's really, we all have them.
Yes.
We all have them.
And thank God that we have a God who's like, okay, I'm not going anywhere.
Mhm.
Well, that's great. What a great story.
So I guess it was spring of 2 years ago. No, it was last spring.
Mhm.
So a year ago last spring when you came and said, I want to start this men's ministry.
Mhm.
Yes. the question is, what led you to that?
Well, coming to a new parish, it's hard to step in. You can come to
Dan is shaking his head, yes.
and you can volunteer. There needs to be an easy way to step into community. And I didn't know what it looked like. And we asked around, what are your thoughts? We talked about apologetics. We talked about some other things.
We got a group of men together and kind of just started brainstorming.
Yeah. And, but one of the guys that, in my Cursillo group, his name's Mark Nieder, and he heads up Our Lady of Mount Carmel. So that man is you. And when you hear the guys talking about it over a long period of time, you think, well, that's pretty cool. The subject matters that are being discussed at a table. So that sort of came onto the horizon. And then as time goes on, sort of hone in. And this program gives you a small group to talk to. It allows you just to come and sit down at a table, watch a video, and have a discussion about whatever the Holy Spirit wants you to talk about at the table.
Well,
it doesn't have to be,
right. The video is a catalyst. It's not about the video.
Yes.
It's about the discussion and the community.
Discussion. And the idea is that we're doing it at 6:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. And that's a tough time. But
I love that. I think that is bold. I love that.
Well, and they actually recommend that because men, it's a lot harder when they get home from work. But I do want to add, Chuck really went to lunches last fall, but we really were kind of scrambling, we found one person to kind of help, and you need at least 6 to 8 people on a core team. So we just decided to pause and work on meeting people, growing in that core group. And then we talked about launching the Lenten series as a way to just introduce it to the parish. So for those of you who attended the Lenten series, that wasn't supposed to be a one and done. That was a more introduction to what that main view is. And then the actual 2-semester long program would be launched in the fall.
And it's because it's in our Catholic DNA that you sacrifice. And the prayers and hopes
DNA.
for Dan and I is that this isn't a sacrifice. Well, to some degree, everything is. But my only point is that this is something that I could enjoy. And I don't have to be there every week. I don't have to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Each episode stands alone.
Stands alone.
Okay.
You can come and go. It's still just the conversation that you have with fellow parishioners. The hope and the prayer is that they want to come back. And when you start doing daily mass once in a while, okay, that says my week was better. Well, if you come to Timmy,
that means
my week going to be better.
Well, that's
my husband's name, and I was actually in thought of him in that moment. I was wondering, I wonder if he would want to do this. I would not put it on him, but as I'm thinking that you said you referred to it as Timmy.
That man is you.
TMIY, but people call it Timmy. Yeah.
It's an acronym, and
I'm sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and just keep that right in my heart locket.
I do want to add to what Chuck just said. He made that comment about once you go to daily mass,
yeah.
you realize. I have found over the past 5-10 years of my life that as I've made more sacrifices for the Lord, things have gotten better. Like whenever I make a Lenten promise of saying, "Hey, I'm going to stop this and do this," I realize after those 40 days, I'm like, I need to keep doing this because that was great. And it's so tough to get over because you're thinking, I don't want to make the sacrifice. But man, when you start making some of these sacrifices, praying the rosary every day, I try to do that. I don't always succeed, but like it just when you start doing things for sacrificing, things get better. I can't explain it. I can't explain it. This is the Lord. Like, you would think logically, oh, that doesn't make sense. Why would you stop eating meat on every Friday, not just the Lenten ones? All these little sacrifices, they are great.
Well, and last night at 5 p.m. Mass, Father Hellman said the root word of sacrifice is basically making something holy. So you're helping to make that time, that experience holy by making a sacrifice. Why should they go to that man as you? Why is that important?
Yeah. I love to ask the why question.
Especially as men, it's very easy to just do your own thing. I've done it. You put your head down, you work, for your family, you come home, you go to bed, whatever. Let's say you do that for a month, 2 months, 3 months. Fast forward, all of a sudden you get in this tough situation, whether it's fighting with your wife, whether it's you lost your job, whatever the stress is. If you don't have someone to talk to about that, you're left in this bad spot. it's happened to me where I've just been doing my own life, living myself, and that's a natural thing for men to do. But if you do this, where you build a relationship with other men that are walking similar faith journeys, and you have these struggles in life, then you're gonna be able to talk to some, especially as a, I still think I'm young. I'm 33.
You're young.
The value.
Chuck concurs.
22-year-old hears this, they think I'm old. Yeah, but anyway, the point is, um, I love talking to people who've 10 years older than me, 30 years older than me, especially in that man as you, the past however many weeks we've been doing this. I learn from them. I say, hey man, I'm struggling with this, this, and this in life. Like, I can't quite figure out what the best thing to do is. And then I hear from guy A, guy B, guy C give their perspective. I'm like, you know what? And it helps me find out how to, stay away from sin, help make sure my kids, do this and that, stay close to God, whatever the situation is. If you can't take these bits of information from 5, 10, 15, 20 other men in the community to help better your life, you're going to struggle in the long term. And you won't see yourself struggling immediately. But you fast forward a year, 2 years, 3 years,
Yep.
you're going to look back and you're going to be like, man, I wish I had a buddy. I wish I had a guy who could help me in this situation.
Yeah, and I find most of my husband's friends are from work. And really all they have in common is work. And I think it's pretty common for men.
Yeah. I've unfortunately come across a bunch of mid-20s, 26, 27, they graduated 3, 4, 5 years ago. And the only people I know are through work. And I'm like, hey, go to church. Go find some great men that care about you, that aren't through work. Because like you said, all you talk about is work.
Well, and then, you
that's the only
leave
thing you
your
have in
job,
common.
and then you have nothing in common anymore.
And you find people, you have to find that niche, that group of people that propel you down the road towards Christ, okay? Having a group of men that propel you down another road is not the right thing. And it can be fun. It is fun. My Cresceo group is fun. We laugh a lot. We, like you said, admonish each other. But you got to find that core. And it may not be sitting at the table when you are at that man as you, but there's an ability to mix it up under certain circumstances so that if this isn't working for you, you can move to another table. It's not a big deal. All you got to do is ask.
What?
So
go ahead.
It's important to sort of ride it out and see if it's something for you.
What age group is targeted in this?
18 and older. That man as you recommends that it's a wide range at different tables.
Okay. Right. Very cool.
I'm soon turn 69 forever. I'm not going to get any older. I'll always say 69, but
yeah, and I like that our core team is a range of ages.
Yes.
I don't know how old they're.
And that's the important part about it, is that there's different perspectives. I mean, I wasn't the smartest person in my 20s. It just wasn't. You don't know what you don't know, so you flounder.
So
so you make it up.
Yep, you
kind
make
of
it up as you go.
Back to the beginning, Chuck is our humble leader in that he does kind of keep things moving ahead, but he's good about letting the Holy Spirit kind of guide things as well. But
that's something new.
Well, that's okay.
Well, because it'd be easy to just jump in and start pointing your finger and ordering. And
this makes you a great leader, though. The silent guidance.
Leader, because that's what's going on.
I love this.
But Chuck said it's been a challenge for him because he's not used to just kind of like, he's trying to find that balance between leading and allowing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's be honest, on a human level, this was kind of your idea. Obviously, with God, but of course, it would make sense. So I have a point of discussion that I was thinking about last night and actually going through my head this morning. And I could be kind of taking a little risk here to paint a broad brush. Women, in my opinion, it's a thought, and I'll just stick with St. Alphonsus, are open and willing to be more vulnerable to asking for help, wanting friendships, wanting to build relationships, and seeking the opportunities to do so. I've experienced that being a part of Mom's group for a couple years, and also just being a part of other things as a volunteer and just listening. I do think that women have more of a natural inclination to want to gather and be a part of something and create camaraderie. And my question is, do you think that men, again, painting a broad brush, that it is as easy for them to let go and give over to God with the natural tendency of a man to want to, I have to provide. I am the man. I am the decision maker. And again, not to be offensive to men at all, but how does a man drop his guard to come into this kind of environment and leave ego and pride at the door? Can I say it that way?
What's been your experience?
It could be a loaded question.
It's a very valid question because I hear that from time to time. One of the tough things with men is we are less likely to drop a wall, so to speak. But growing up, me and my brothers, figure it out, man. I see the way that fathers treat their daughters, both in my family growing up and my extended family and my in-laws and what. It's like,
we're always building them up.
yes,
That's not necessarily
bad.
that's not necessarily the case for our little boys. We're not building them up in that way.
And probably girls, you feel like you have to protect them.
Correct.
Correct.
And I'm not saying this is bad. I'm saying this is
just the reality. It's true.
And that carries through into your adulthood. Mm-hmm. And you have to have this layer.
Yes, you have to have a tough exterior because the world's going to beat you up.
Mm-hmm. And so handing that over and letting go is that's a weakness, maybe.
I love my wife. She might cry one night, and her and I talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting there hugging her. But if I have a problem, a real problem, I can't cry to my wife.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what I just tell you?
I know, but if my husband cries, I don't.
Let me rephrase it. I can't do it too often.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I could call my dad, which is sometimes what men would do. Could call my brothers, but if you don't have a community of men, those are the only guys you can call. So that's why the importance of having a community of men built up. That's the value of having a community of men built up for you.
I like it.
You can call 10 other guys, 12 other guys. I don't get me wrong. I definitely express emotions to my wife. Like sometimes you talk to other people.
Sure.
For sure.
Well, and you probably don't want to burden her or
correct. Yeah, because she's already burdened with all the kids.
Right.
Chuck, I feel like you have something.
No, it's great conversation. For men, I think the lessons that a lot of dads do is just go and find out. Mm-hmm. You got to learn this for yourself. In my younger years, a lot of people told me lots of things, but I'm going to figure it out myself. And you can't be afraid to fail. You fail, you get up, and you keep going, and you learn from it. What do we learn the most of is those upsets, those failures in life that stick with you, and you said, I ain't going down that road.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't go. But there are just so many opportunities to try different things. And I'm an older generation, which is very true. And that's not necessarily a good thing, but it's important to know that when you fail, you learn and you get up and you go on. The minute that you include Christ in that decision is when things change.
I was just reading in a book this morning about the mistakes, the sins, the failures, how quickly it is our duty to recover from beating ourselves up and staying and wallowing in the pain. And the sooner we can let go of that and hand that over to God, the quicker he can get back to work in us. Yeah.
So it's interesting about how hard you think it is for men to be vulnerable, because anytime you guys always say it, that man is you when you did it this spring. The guys always said they never had enough time to talk.
I don't think talking is the same as being vulnerable.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not saying like, hey guys, come to that man as you and be vulnerable.
I think vulnerability comes with a little fear, a little trepidation. Yeah. But no, I would see that. I can see that.
Like, because in some of my conversations the past while, it's been, hey guys, I'm trying to better my life, and this is where I struggle, and this is where I struggle. What have you guys done to avoid your struggle? And some guys are like, I have no idea. And some guys are like, Dan, I've been doing this for 30 years. And I tried to do that too, and this is what happened. And so I don't know. Is that being vulnerable? I have no idea.
You're being honest about
maybe vulnerable comes in like different. Maybe it feels different for people, because I'll get vulnerable right now. Like, let's get into it. That's me. That's not going to be a grown man at 6 a.m. maybe.
I think it's very different from guys and women.
I'll say this.
There's no crime
No
with you.
tissues on the table.
Every person can benefit from that man as you in various different ways. Whether it's like one of the ways is I come and I learn. I learn how to be a better man, right?
Beautiful.
Other ways, some other men that I'll be honest, they're 60, 70. They might be, hey, I made all these mistakes in my life. I want to make sure you guys don't make the mistakes.
Yeah.
So I've had some of these older guys give us direction. Or you could just come because you want to meet more people and you want to build a community and have a good group of guys. Again, those are just two of the ways. There's probably like 15 more ways. You could come because you love watching videos about a guy talking about whatever,
Now, the theme overall for this season, September 16th through December 16th.
That's just for the
fall session. Becoming a man after God's own heart. And you guys have some objectives here. And then you've got the calendar, which is like week 1, week 2, kind of like themes within the theme or discussions within the theme, I guess. And so there are videos to start the kind of wet the whistle and start the discussion, right?
Yes.
So you watch the video and then you break into your small groups and you talk amongst yourselves. Is that correct? Right. And when you say, Chuck, that man is you encourages the small groups to have a wide range, is that you guys kind of eyeballing who's who and sitting them together, or do they get to decide where they're sitting?
They are placed at a table.
Okay.
And all we ask is that if you enjoy the experience, continue to come. And
if they miss a
session,
doesn't impact their experience.
It's not a Bible study and there's no homework.
No homework.
And that's the beauty of it.
Beautiful.
Because you just come with your own thoughts. And something that I wanted to share was that it's hard to have conversations with other people. If you could choose a couple turning points, but I think COVID was one of them where we were not allowed to have the conversations where we've lost the art of having a conversation.
Oh, you and I could talk all day.
You have to practice this. You have to practice it, or
Yes.
it doesn't, or you're not effective. We don't talk politics. It's not important. That is of the world, and you can have that
Amen.
in another part of your life. But I'll jump in anytime you want my opinion.
This is good to hear. This is not a platform for political views. This is God's time.
So you can, if you miss a week, there's an app where you can watch a video.
At least you know what the
you miss out on the
discussion might
discussion,
be.
but
Don't need to be registered.
and then if you want to go to the website at zionsvillecatholic.com/TMIY.
There's a lot of good stuff to read on this. If you listener, if you're curious about this, if it's a wife wanting to encourage your husband, if it is the man listening, yes, there is really a lot of good information on the webpage. Questions you'll probably get a lot of answers to. It would be okay if I shout out your core team members. We've got Chuck Wright, our core leader, Dan Nield, master of ceremonies, MC, Nathan Brom, registration coordinator, but you don't need to register, correct?
It would be preferred, so we know we can prepare for how many men that are going to show up.
Registration does not hold you bound to anything, is what you guys are getting at. Alec Martinez, audio video coordinator. Got to have one of those. Brian Grafnitz, materials coordinator. Brian is the man. I am so happy that he is on the squad. That is amazing.
He actually was a part of the team that launched this in Oklahoma.
Okay.
When he lived in Oklahoma.
That's wonderful.
Because his insight was very helpful.
Most importantly, we have our food coordinator, Mark Lowe. Thank you, Mark.
Who also cooks homemade casseroles and brings them on Tuesday morning.
Breakfast.
This is the ultimate man.
By demand.
Ross Watkins is hospitality. Clinton Baum, small group coordinator. So you guys have a team. You got the time, the place. You have God doing all the work. All you got to do now is just execute. And pray, right?
Yeah, and we have some other guys that are
who else?
here to be table leaders. It's not a leader. He's not going to sit and preach. But
Facilitate.
times there are nothing, the conversation just slows down a little bit. He's just there to say, well, here's what I think about this. The names,
Small group leaders,
well, a
facilitators,
good portion of that is
the core team.
the core team.
Okay.
Um,
That's great.
okay. And then you have Raphael, Mark Myers, and
Jeff Franciscovich.
Yeah.
Jeff Francis.
Nice. What? That's amazing. That's so many men. Oh my gosh. Congratulations, you guys. This
Thank-
is impressive. This is impressive. And I know that like right on your heels was the gals doing She Shall Be Called Woman. I don't want to say that anybody was following, but right on your heels. Yeah, I mean, it's inspiring.
Well, they were looking for something,
Yeah.
That's what kind of helped them make the decision.
and they were looking at another program.
Mhm.
I have such hope. And I love the word hope because God loves when we hope. It's like excitement of things to come. Like he loves when we have hope. But I have such hope for the fall for both these groups, stirring it up a little bit, like just move in the spirit and bring in heart and soul and realness to St. Alphonsus and getting conversations started and being bold. I have such hope about this. And I'm so glad that you decided to take this on and to make it happen because I know it does take a lot of work.
They're nodding their
Yeah,
heads.
more than I thought.
They're already asleep.
They've been meeting weekly for a while.
Yeah.
Wild.
It's impressive.
So Tuesdays, starting September 16th.
Mm-hmm. I just want to say one thing to the,
Yes,
to the men out there, to the 58,000 men that listen to your show every week.
Yes.
If you're a single young man and you want to find that beautiful 10 out of 10 outgoing Christ-filled woman in your life, you have to be a 10 out of 10 wonderful outgoing Christ-filled man. If you're a father, you want your sons to grow up to be even better than you, and you want your daughters to date men that are even better than you. So if you want your sons and daughters to have an amazing life, you yourself have to be amazing. And you have a better chance of being an amazing man in both those aspects if you're awake at 5:30 in the morning rather than sleeping. Do you want to be a great man to either find a wonderful woman, or do you want to be a great man to lead your children to be great future adults as well?
Choice is yours.
Go be great.
Beautiful.
And it's what you do, gentlemen, not what you say. And if you get up and you show your dedication to your faith, to your parish, to your church, it says something about you that you're doing, not just talking about.
Amen.
But you come to that man as you to talk about it so that you can be stronger and turn to Christ in those times that you need guidance. And that's a habit that comes with practice.
Beautiful. This whole podcast, if nothing else was said or nothing else was heard, those are the gems right there. Thank you, gentlemen. So beautiful for opening up your hearts to us and to the parish for the hard work that you're doing. Our parish is going to gain from this. So thank you so much.
I hope and pray that it does.
Yes, it's the goal.
All right.
Thank you
Shout
for
out
having
to
us
my
on.
granddaughter, Stevie.
Stevie, hey girl.
So September 16th at
Mhm.
6 a.m.
In the parish.
Parish Hall. And they will be in the narthex those first 2 weekends of September if you want to talk to any of the core team
Yay.
to promote. And and you can also email at tmiy/sal@zionsvillecatholic.com.
Beautiful. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Good
having us
work.
on.
If you would like to hear more holy banter, please check out our podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcast.